Welcome to this intersection. In this virtual space we're briefly sharing together today, we're going to talk about what some call the law of success, which is simply a shorthand way of talking about how the law of attraction works and how you can line yourself up to take advantage of that. We said briefly sharing because that's how many of you would normally think of it. And yet we would also say eternally sharing, because we are with you timelessly and whenever you want us to be. You summon us by thinking of us, not because we are sitting around waiting for your call, but because you and we are essentially timeless and spaceless and always connected. Think about that for a moment. It's a different perspective, and yet it's a more fundamentally real way of perceiving things. It's a perspective that frees you up from constant engagement with that virtual world you're playing around in and opens you up to new possibilities. So as you approach what this one calls the silly season, let's all get real together. Let's talk about you setting yourself up for success over the next 40 days, from what is called in this country Thanksgiving week, we like to call it Appreciation Week, through Christmas and into the new year. And then let's extend through the new year into the year to come. We'll get into what success could mean for you, and then we'll set it up together. But let's start by getting relaxed. Close your eyes and take a couple of deep breaths. Become aware of what you feel. Your clothing, the seat, your feet, the air in your nostrils as you breathe it in. Become aware of what you hear, us, and perhaps other things around you. Your senses seem to be telling you about a world that's out there, but it's not. It's here inside you. It's all an inside job. And before you open your eyes, understand that. Know that. Now open your eyes and see the virtual world that you and you alone are creating. Every single thing in that world is architected by what you choose to believe and expect. Some of it you define quite precisely. Other things you define more generally. But all of it sits within the boundaries of your expectations. Just take in the enormity of that, because that's the basis of the law of success and every other law you could ever think of. If you're still thinking of your world as physical and solid and real and shared with those other people out there who are also making choices, if you're also thinking that their choices are going to impinge on your ability to create what you want, the short answer is no, they do not. And this is such an important concept that we'll say a few words here about co-creation. Fundamentally, you are not jointly creating anything. What appears in your virtual reality, that world that seems to be out there, is not a committee decision. It's your decision. The people in it are a match to your expectations, even as you, from their perspective, are a match to theirs. Can you see that therefore there are millions of versions of that world, and you in different versions are appearing in those worlds? We experience all of those versions. You have chosen to play this particular game of yours, experiencing only one. And so when you make a new choice, you effectively step into a different version of your virtual reality. It's like the frames of a movie. It looks continuous and flowing and ongoing, but it's not. And if those other players in your movie are making various decisions, it's because you expect them to. This is the game you have created. This is the fun and the adventure of it. But everything sits within your expectation boundaries, and those are absolutely within your control. You are always at choice about all things. From an Abraham quote today came the following: every physical being on this planet is your partner in co-creation. And if you could accept that and appreciate the diversity of desires and beliefs, all of you would have a more expansive, satisfying, fulfilling experience. We would phrase that differently. Everything on this planet is your creation. Those other physical beings are showing up as you have chosen to believe they will. They are a match to you, even as you are a match to them. They make independent decisions, of course, and decisions that may be different than you would wish them to make, but only insofar as you know they will. Ultimately, it is your belief choices that define the boundaries of everything in this game of yours. You are not a physical creature. You're a consciousness. And therefore, as you might expect, it's all about what you think. It's all an inside job. It's inside of you. So now let's go inside again and look around. Close your eyes if you can. Once again, become aware of the enormity of who you are and how you create your world. Then ask yourself the question, what do I expect to happen in the next 40 days? Think about that. Can you see that there's a lot of status quo in that tapestry of your expectations? Then ask yourself, what do I expect to happen in the next year, in the next 400 days? Think about that. Are you getting a sense of the huge potential you have to create something new? So what is success? It is simply you deciding what you want and then manifesting it. So for the next 40 days or 400 days, what is it that you want? As we make suggestions here, think about what these mean to you. Is it friendship and love and celebration and joyous interactions? Is it abundance and having fun things and going to fun places? Is it vibrant health and a new sense of your vitality? Is it mastery of all these ideas and eagerly stepping more and more into a place of peace and power and fun and freedom? All of these can be yours if you will just imagine them into beingness. Imagine them. Image them. Be them. We have spent a short time only here right now on this, but we encourage you to take some time outs and go through exercises like this. Success is no accident. This is where success comes from. Commit to spending time doing this frequently and regularly, and for as long as it feels good to do so. Here once again is our summary of the nature of everything. You're eternal. You're God. You're the one, the only one that chooses what to believe about you and your world. When you make a choice, everything in the world lines up with it. When you're feeling good, your choices are pointing you toward what you want, and vice versa. So nothing is more important than feeling good. That's the simple truth of it all. If there ever was something like a law of success, you just stepped way beyond it. In all of this, we are seeking to get away from definitions of laws about this thing or that thing. Because if you can get to a true perspective of the nature of everything, laws become irrelevant. And you will be carrying within you something more permanent and universal than any definition can convey. And that's a powerful place to live. And now we move to our longer discussion and the answer to any questions you may have.